Imagine waking up in the morning without that heavy fog in your head, without the dull ache in your joints, without that tired drag in your body that makes even the simplest tasks feel like a burden. Imagine instead opening your eyes and actually feeling refreshed, your mind alert, your body ready to move. For so many people, especially as the years pass, fatigue, pain, and inflammation are simply accepted as the normal cost of getting older. But science tells us something very different. What you put on your plate can either fuel inflammation and make everything worse, or it can calm it, soothe it, and even reverse it. And when inflammation is under control, your energy rises, your pain drops, and your whole system feels lighter. There are foods out there that don't just feed you, they fight for you. They're packed with compounds that lower inflammatory signals in your body, repair damage at the cellular level, and give your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, the fuel they need to create energy efficiently. When those power plants inside you run smoothly, you stop running on fumes and start running on vitality. These anti-inflammatory foods aren't exotic, they aren't hard to find, and they don't require expensive supplements. They're natural, whole, delicious foods that have been around for centuries, and when you make them part of your daily life, they transform how you feel. Take berries, for example, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. They're tiny, but they're like concentrated capsules of antioxidants. Anthocyanins, the compounds that give berries their vibrant red and blue colors, actively reduce oxidative stress and lower inflammatory markers in the blood. They protect your brain, support your heart, and ease the kind of cellular stress that leaves you drained and sore. Imagine a handful of blueberries in your morning oatmeal or blended into a smoothie. Not just a sweet treat, but a dose of medicine for your arteries, your joints, and your energy. Now picture salmon sizzling on a pan rich with omega-3 fatty acids. Those omega-3s are among the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agents known to science. They lower the production of inflammatory compounds called cytokines and prostaglandins, the very ones that trigger pain and stiffness. People who eat fatty fish regularly often report less joint pain, clearer thinking, and more sustained energy. And it's not just salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, and trout all carry the same benefit. Next, think about leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and arugula. These greens are packed with magnesium, vitamin K, and antioxidants that not only calm inflammation, but also relax muscles, support circulation, and help maintain strong bones. Magnesium in particular is critical for energy production. When your levels are low, fatigue becomes a constant companion. Eating a big salad each day with olive oil and a squeeze of lemon can literally change the way your body feels within weeks. Speaking of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil is one of the crown jewels of anti-inflammatory eating. Its monounsaturated fats and polyphenols are powerful protectors of the cardiovascular system, lowering markers of inflammation like C-reactive protein. It lubricates your joints, nourishes your arteries, and acts like a natural balm for the body. Think of it not as just cooking oil, but as liquid gold for your health. Turmeric is another treasure. Its bright golden color hiding curcumin, one of the most studied anti-inflammatory compounds in the world. Curcumin doesn't just mask pain, it works deep in your cells to block inflammatory pathways, acting on the same mechanisms as some pain medications, but without the harsh side effects. Add turmeric to soups, teas, or roasted vegetables, always with a pinch of black pepper to unlock its full power, and you give your body a daily dose of natural healing. Ginger, too, deserves a place on this list. Warm, spicy, and soothing ginger has been shown to reduce muscle pain, ease nausea, and lower inflammation. Athletes use it to recover faster, and seniors find it eases stiffness and digestive discomfort. A cup of ginger tea can be more than just a comfort, it can be a step toward better mobility and less pain. Nuts, especially walnuts and almonds, are small but mighty. They provide healthy fats, magnesium, and compounds that lower inflammation while boosting brain function. Walnuts, with their plant-based omega-3s, work much like fish oil to protect your arteries and reduce inflammation. Almonds bring vitamin E, an antioxidant that shields cells from damage. A simple handful of nuts a day can give your body the raw materials it needs to fight inflammation and build resilience. Don't forget green tea, a drink revered for centuries in Asia, now validated by modern science. Green tea is rich in catechins, powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation, protect brain cells, and boost fat metabolism. Sipping a warm cup daily is like giving your cells a protective shield, one that also sharpens your focus and lifts your energy without the crash of coffee. Garlic is another humble hero. Beyond flavor, garlic carries sulfur compounds that reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and even improve immune response. Its power to support the cardiovascular system is legendary, and eating it regularly can keep your arteries more supple and your blood flowing freely. Finally, we come to dark chocolate, not the candy bars loaded with sugar, but pure dark chocolate with high cocoa content. Cocoa is bursting with flavonoids that calm inflammation, improve circulation, and even lift mood. It's a treat that heals rather than harms, provided it's eaten in moderation. Each of these foods works differently. Berries fighting oxidative stress, salmon flooding your system with omega-3s, greens loading you with magnesium, spices shutting down inflammatory pathways, teas and oils nourishing from the inside out. But when you bring them together, meal after meal, you're not just feeding your body, you're healing it. You're giving yourself the gift of less pain, more energy, and better health. Imagine for a moment that your body is like a house you've lived in for many years. Over time, little cracks form in the walls, the pipes get rusty, the windows start to stick. You don't notice it all at once. It happens slowly, day by day, until one morning you realize that the house doesn't feel as strong as it once did. That's exactly how inflammation creeps into your body. It isn't sudden, it's a quiet, slow burning fire, one that makes your joints ache, your energy fade, and your digestion sluggish. The incredible part is that you hold the tools to repair those cracks and strengthen the foundation again, and those tools are the foods you choose to eat each day. They're not pills or quick fixes, but small daily decisions that over time add up to a life with less pain, more vitality, and a lighter spirit. Picture yourself sitting down to breakfast, not with a plate of sugary pastries that leave you tired an hour later, but with a bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh blueberries, a sprinkle of walnuts, and a drizzle of honey. As you lift the spoon to your mouth, you're not just enjoying the taste, you're feeding your body compounds that soothe inflamed tissues, protect your arteries, and fuel your brain. The anthocyanins in the berries begin to work immediately, sweeping away free radicals like a broom cleaning dust from a neglected room. The walnuts provide omega-3s that help your joints bend without pain, and the fiber in the oats keeps your digestion running smoothly. You finish that breakfast not heavy and sluggish, but steady and energized. Later in the day, maybe lunch is a vibrant salad of spinach, kale, tomatoes, cucumbers, chickpeas, and a dressing made from extra virgin olive oil and lemon. Each bite is packed with magnesium and vitamin K, two nutrients that not only calm inflammation but also support bone strength and muscle function. Think about how vital those are after 60, when bones can grow fragile and muscles begin to weaken. That olive oil, golden and rich, coats each leaf, carrying with it polyphenols that soothe the lining of your blood vessels, helping them stay elastic and flexible. Without you even noticing, your arteries are thanking you, your heart is thanking you, and your joints are thanking you. Now imagine dinner. Instead of a heavy meal that leaves you bloated and restless, you sit down to grilled salmon with roasted vegetables, seasoned with turmeric and black pepper, and perhaps a side of quinoa or brown rice. As you savor the flavors, something remarkable is happening inside you. The omega-3s in the salmon slip into your cell membranes, calming the production of those angry molecules that cause swelling and stiffness. The curcumin in the turmeric interrupts inflammatory pathways, like putting out sparks before they can grow into flames. The fiber in the vegetables feeds your gut bacteria, and in return they produce compounds that lower inflammation even more. You finish your plate, and instead of exhaustion weighing you down, you feel satisfied and light, ready to move or rest without discomfort. In between meals, instead of reaching for processed snacks that add fuel to inflammation's fire, you might pour yourself a cup of green tea. Warm, soothing, almost meditative, it fills your body with catechins that protect your cells from damage and keep your energy steady. Maybe later, a square of dark chocolate melts in your mouth, rich and slightly bitter, sending flavonoids coursing through your bloodstream to improve circulation and lift your mood. These small indulgences don't harm you, they heal you, one sip and one bite at a time. The beauty of these foods is not just in their science, but in the way they fit into daily life. They are not medicines you have to remember to take, not rules that feel like punishment. They're pleasures, gifts from nature that both taste wonderful and heal deeply. Think about the comfort of ginger tea on a chilly evening, the earthy spice warming your throat and easing your stomach. Think about garlic sizzling in olive oil as the base of a hearty soup, filling your kitchen with aromas that remind you of family dinners. These foods connect you to tradition, to memories, to joy, while also repairing what time and stress have worn down. Inflammation doesn't only live in the body, it lives in the mind. Stress, anger, worry, all release chemicals that inflame tissues just as surely as poor food choices do. But when you sit down to eat with mindfulness, when your meals are colorful, balanced, and healing, it sends a message to your whole system: you are cared for, you are nourished, you are safe. That message alone calms stress hormones and reduces the burden on your heart and arteries. Food is not just fuel, it's communication. And when you feed your body these anti-inflammatory treasures, you're whispering to your cells, heal, restore, thrive. There will always be temptations, of course. The fried foods that seem comforting but leave your joints swollen. The sugary treats that spark a quick joy but crash your energy and fuel inflammation. The salty snacks that bloat your body and strain your blood pressure. But the truth is, once you begin replacing those foods with the ones that heal, your body starts to crave the good. You'll notice how much better you feel after a meal of greens, fish, and berries compared to one of fries and soda. You'll realize that energy, clarity, and ease are more satisfying than the fleeting buzzes of processed food. Slowly, the old habits lose their grip and the new ones take root like strong, steady plants in fertile soil. And this isn't just about pain or fatigue. It's about freedom. Freedom to walk without stiffness. Freedom to play with grandchildren without needing to sit down every 10 minutes. Freedom to wake up refreshed instead of groaning with aches. Freedom to think clearly, to focus, to laugh, to enjoy the life you've built without being held back by constant discomfort. Every choice you make at the table is an investment in that freedom. Each forkful is like laying a brick in a stronger foundation for the years ahead. Your body, even after 60, is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal. It wants to recover. When you give it the right foods, it responds quickly. You may notice less swelling in your hands after just a week of anti-inflammatory eating. You may feel your digestion improving, your sleep deepening, your mind sharpening. Over months, you may find your blood pressure lowering, your cholesterol improving, your waistline shrinking, not because you went on a restrictive diet, but because you chose foods that align with the body's natural design. The real secret isn't in doing everything perfectly, it's in doing small things consistently. Adding berries to your breakfast, swapping out butter for olive oil, drinking green tea in the afternoon instead of soda, grilling salmon once a week instead of steak, tossing turmeric and garlic into soups and stews, choosing a handful of almonds instead of chips. These are not sacrifices, they're upgrades. Each one builds on the other until your diet is no longer something you should do. It becomes something you want to do because of how good it makes you feel. The story of aging doesn't have to be one of decline and pain. It can be one of wisdom, vitality, and joy. The foods you choose can be the difference between a life limited by inflammation and one liberated by healing. Every bite is a chance to choose life energy and freedom. The path is simple, and it is waiting for you one meal at a time. Think of your body as a garden, one that has been through many seasons. Some years were bright with rain and sunshine, others dry and harsh. By the time you reach 60, that garden has weathered storms, endured pests, and grown tired from years of use. But here's the beauty: gardens can be restored. With the right seeds, the right water, the right sunlight, a garden long neglected can spring back to life. Your body is no different. Inflammation is like weeds that creep into the soil, choking the flowers blocking the sunlight and stealing the nutrients. Anti-inflammatory foods are the gardener's tools. They pull out the weeds, restore balance to the soil, and make room for new growth. Each bite you take is either feeding the weeds or feeding the flowers. The choice may seem small, but over time, it is everything. Imagine waking up in the morning with stiff knees and aching fingers, the kind of pain that makes simple tasks, buttoning a shirt, climbing the stairs, cooking breakfast, feel like climbing a mountain. Many seniors accept this as an unavoidable part of aging, but the truth is that what you put on your plate can either make that stiffness worse or begin to ease it. A breakfast of processed white bread with sugary jam might taste good for a moment, but it spikes your blood sugar, triggers an inflammatory response, and sets the tone for a day filled with fatigue and discomfort. Now imagine instead a warm bowl of steel, cut oats topped with chia seeds, sliced strawberries, and a handful of walnuts. That one change shifts your body's chemistry, giving it the omega-3s antioxidants and fiber it craves. You may not notice the difference instantly, but repeat that meal daily, and in weeks you begin to wake with less stiffness, more energy, and a lighter step. Food is powerful in ways we often overlook. It doesn't just fill your stomach, it speaks to your genes, your hormones, your cells. It can switch off inflammation in your arteries or switch it on. It can reduce the swelling in your joints or make it flare. It can sharpen your focus and memory or cloud it with fog. The body listens carefully to every bite. That's why certain foods, leafy greens, berries, fish, nuts, olive oil, turmeric, ginger, are so remarkable. They don't just fuel you, they heal you. They tell your body, calm down, restore balance, rebuild strength. Every time you choose them over fried foods, refined carbs, or sugary snacks, you are pulling out weeds and planting flowers. Think about your heart for a moment. It beats over 100,000 times a day, never resting, always working. Inflammation in your blood vessels is like grit in the gears, making the heart work harder, damaging the smooth lining that keeps blood flowing easily. Over years, that inflammation can lead to hardened arteries, high blood pressure, and heart attacks. But foods rich in polyphenols, like green tea, dark chocolate, and olive oil smooth those gears again. They keep the blood vessels elastic, help prevent plaque buildup, and reduce the burden on your heart. That means not only living longer, but living better with more stamina to enjoy walks, hobbies, and time with loved ones. Now think about your brain. Memory lapses, brain fog, difficulty focusing, these are often blamed on age, but inflammation plays a huge role. A diet heavy in processed foods fuels that inflammation, while a diet filled with anti-inflammatory foods protects your brain. Blueberries, for example, cross the blood-brain barrier and deliver antioxidants directly to brain cells, improving communication between neurons. Walnuts improve blood flow to the brain. Leafy greens slow cognitive decline. Over time, these foods aren't just keeping your body strong, they're preserving your mind, your clarity, your independence. Imagine being 80, 90, even 100 years old and still remembering names, still solving problems, still sharing stories with your grandchildren. That's the gift of food. Pain, too, is deeply linked to inflammation. Arthritis, muscle aches, joint swelling, all are fueled by chronic inflammation. Many seniors turn to pain medications which may dull the discomfort temporarily, but often bring side effects. Anti-inflammatory foods work differently. They don't cover up the symptoms, they address the root. Turmeric reduces the activity of molecules that cause joint swelling. Ginger blocks inflammatory compounds. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines reduce the production of pain, causing chemicals. Leafy greens provide minerals that relax muscles. Bit by bit, these foods shift the balance inside your body, making pain less sharp, less constant, more manageable without pills. Energy is another area transformed by what you eat. Many people over 60 complain of fatigue, but much of that fatigue comes from inflammation interfering with mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside cells. Processed foods clog these power plants, while anti-inflammatory foods fuel them. Quinoa, lentils, beans, and whole grains give steady energy instead of spikes and crashes. Nuts and seeds provide healthy fats that sustain you for hours. Fresh fruits deliver quick energy that doesn't harm your body. When inflammation goes down, energy goes up, and suddenly daily tasks don't feel as exhausting. You may find yourself walking further, gardening longer, laughing louder, not because you forced it, but because your body finally has the fuel it needs. Your digestive system is another area transformed. Constipation, bloating, indigestion, these are common complaints after 60, and inflammation often lies at the root. When your gut lining is irritated, food particles and toxins slip through, triggering immune responses that inflame the entire body. Anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, beans, and fermented foods repair that lining, nourish beneficial bacteria, and restore balance. A healthy gut doesn't just ease digestion, it lowers inflammation everywhere from your skin to your joints to your brain. You may notice clearer skin, stronger immunity, and fewer allergies, all because you chose foods that heal rather than harm. The journey isn't about perfection. It's not about never touching a slice of cake or a plate of fries again. It's about balance, about making the healing choices most of the time so your body has what it needs to fight back against age, stress, and wear. Even small changes matter. Adding one anti-inflammatory food a day can begin the shift. Maybe it's a cup of green tea in the afternoon instead of coffee. Maybe it's adding garlic and turmeric to your soup. Maybe it's swapping butter for olive oil or white rice for quinoa. Each swap is like opening a window in that house we talked about earlier, letting in light and fresh air. Over time, the whole house feels new again. This is why food is such a powerful medicine. Not the kind that sits in a bottle on a shelf, but the kind that sits in your kitchen, waiting to be cooked and savored. The kind that brings joy, connection, and comfort while quietly repairing the damage of years. With every choice, you're not just feeding hunger, you're shaping your future. Do you want your future filled with stiffness, fatigue, and fog, or with energy, clarity, and strength? The answer is waiting in your next meal. When you begin to embrace anti-inflammatory foods as a foundation of your daily routine, you will notice that your body starts to communicate differently with you. The heaviness in your joints, the cloudiness in your mind, the stubborn fatigue that makes even simple tasks feel like climbing a hill, all of these begin to shift. It does not happen overnight, but the transformation is steady, and if you stay consistent, it feels almost miraculous. What's remarkable is that these foods are not exotic, not hidden away in some remote corner of the earth, but available right in your grocery store, waiting for you to make the choice to put them on your plate. Imagine sitting down to a colorful meal where every bite is silently working on your behalf, calming inflammation, protecting your blood vessels, feeding your brain, and energizing your cells. That's the beauty of food. When used as medicine, it's subtle but profound, and it doesn't just cover symptoms, it restores balance. Let's talk about how energy, pain, and overall health connect to what you eat every day. Chronic inflammation has a way of draining your vitality. It's not just about the aching knees or the stiff back. It's the overall sense of sluggishness that seems to seep into every part of life. Many people assume aging automatically means losing energy, but science shows much of this fatigue comes from unchecked inflammation. The same immune response that protects you from an infection, if left running in the background for too long, begins to damage tissues, slow down circulation, and interfere with how cells produce energy. But here's where diet becomes a powerful tool. Certain foods send the signal to your body to cool that flame, to restore harmony. And when the body is not constantly fighting itself, it uses that freed up energy to give you sharper focus, stronger movement, and a brighter outlook. It might surprise you how quickly you can feel this shift. A plate of fried food, processed snacks, or sugary treats can trigger an inflammatory cascade that lingers for hours. Contrast that with a meal rich in omega-3s from fish or flax, vibrant colors from berries and leafy greens, and spices like turmeric or ginger. The difference in how you feel afterward is striking. You feel lighter, less weighed down, and sometimes you notice your joints even move more smoothly. This is because anti-inflammatory foods act on both the microscopic level, calming down the signaling molecules that stir up pain, and on the functional level, by giving your body the nutrients it needs to repair, lubricate, and strengthen itself. Think of it as choosing between pouring gasoline on a fire or gently dousing the flames with water. For energy, consider how mitochondria, The tiny power plants in your cells depend on the right nutrients to function. When they are starved of antioxidants and overloaded with inflammatory stress, they falter, producing less energy and more waste. Foods like blueberries, walnuts, spinach, and olive oil provide the antioxidants and healthy fats that shield mitochondria from damage, allowing them to work more efficiently. That's why people often describe feeling more awake, more alive, and more capable after making these dietary shifts. The energy isn't coming from caffeine or stimulants. It's coming from your cells finally working at their natural capacity. Pain reduction follows a similar path. Chronic pain is often the result of constant inflammation irritating nerves and joints. The compounds in anti-inflammatory foods like polyphenols in green tea, sulforaphane in broccoli, and curcumin in turmeric have been shown to interrupt those inflammatory pathways, calming nerve irritation and easing pressure on tissues. Many seniors report that when they commit to this style of eating, their reliance on pain medication decreases. They wake up less stiff, recover from activity more quickly, and even sleep better because the underlying inflammation that was disturbing their rest has quieted down. This is not magic, it's the predictable outcome of removing foods that fuel pain and replacing them with foods that fight it. Better health as a whole emerges when the inflammation fire is cooled. Your arteries are less likely to stiffen and clog, your brain stays sharper with improved blood flow, and your digestion works more smoothly. Even your mood is influenced since inflammation has a direct link to depression and anxiety. By consistently fueling your body with anti-inflammatory foods, you create a foundation for long-term resilience. You're not just reacting to problems, you're preventing them before they take root. And prevention is the greatest gift you can give yourself after 60 because it preserves independence, dignity, and joy in daily living. Some people worry that shifting to an anti-inflammatory diet means giving up the flavors they love, but in truth, it's quite the opposite. Spices like cinnamon, rosemary, garlic, and cayenne bring meals alive while also delivering powerful health benefits. Fruits and vegetables in their natural state explode with color and taste when prepared simply, and healthy fats like avocado or extra virgin olive oil make everything richer and more satisfying. When you allow yourself to explore, you find that these foods are not only healing, but deeply enjoyable. Over time, your taste buds recalibrate, and the artificial intensity of processed food begins to lose its appeal, replaced by the vibrant, authentic flavors of real, living food. The ripple effect extends beyond the body. With more energy, you move more. With less pain, you engage more fully with family and friends. With better health, you carry yourself with greater confidence, knowing you are actively protecting your future. Eating anti-inflammatory foods is not about restriction, but liberation, freedom from the fatigue, pain, and limitations that chronic inflammation imposes. And the best part is, it doesn't require perfection. Even small steps, like adding 1 extra serving of leafy greens per day or swapping out refined oils for olive oil, begin to make a measurable difference. Each meal becomes an opportunity and every choice adds up. There is also a sense of empowerment that comes with this shift. Many people believe their health is out of their control, dictated by age or genetics. But when you start to notice that changing your diet alters how you feel day to day, that belief crumbles. You realize you have a say in how your body responds, how your joints move, how much energy you carry into each morning. That realization alone is worth the effort because it replaces helplessness with hope. And hope, combined with action, is what transforms lives. Think about the people who once resigned themselves to daily pain, only to discover through consistent dietary changes, they could walk longer, play with grandchildren, travel without constant discomfort, and wake up feeling rested instead of exhausted. These are not rare exceptions, they are examples of what happens when the body is given what it needs to heal itself. And while it's true that no single food can cure everything, the combined effect of consistently choosing anti-inflammatory foods is undeniable. It creates a new baseline of health that makes aging not something to dread, but a chapter to embrace. So the next time you prepare a meal, see it as more than fuel. See it as an investment in energy, in comfort, in freedom from pain. See it as a daily act of self-respect. The choice is always yours, and every bite carries power. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated routines. Nature has already provided what you need, wrapped in the colors of fruits, the oils of seeds, the richness of nuts, and the spices of the earth. It's a matter of saying yes to them consistently, allowing them to do their quiet but transformative work within you. And when you do, you'll find that your days are brighter, your steps lighter, and your health stronger than you thought possible, even well beyond 60.